paul.co.uk. Welcome to part 7, the final part of the Tamiya 160 Yamaha Motocrosser YZ250. Glad to be the final part, really looking forward to getting this thing finished. Today we've got the bodywork, the fuel tank and what have you to build and spray, so we're going to be in the spray booth quite a lot, using Tamiya's TS paint and Tamiya replica primers. First for me, looking forward to using them. That's great. A few other finishing touches on the bike. We're just going to touch up some of the chrome work where we took the plating off, touch up the nuts and bolts, a few hoses to attach and a few other little finishing bits. But for now we'll head over to the spray booth and we'll get started on the priming. Right, okay, we're in the spray booth. All the parts have been cut off the sprues, they've been tidied up. The only thing I haven't got here is the fuel tank. That's still over on the workbench drying. Once it's dried, there's a little bit of sand in and I'll follow the exact same steps that I've done on this. Like I said on the last video, we're going to be using Tamiya's rattle can spray paint. So starting off with a grey surface primer. Then we're going to be using TS26 pure white. Following off with TS13 clear. It is my first time using these, so quite looking forward to having a go over them. So we'll move those out of the way. Like I say, they're all off, they've all been put on various bits of clamps, tweezers, all bits of sprue just so I can hold them. Then I've got a little stand here that you can sit in once they're done. Like I say, we're going to be giving them a good going over with the rattle cans. I've never used them before. I've used other rattle cans, car types and what have you. So again, nice little learning experience. The reason I've done it is hopefully to get a slightly better finish, because I lacquer base these paints. I never have much luck getting a nice gloss finish, so hopefully we'll get a decent finish today. So if we open that up to start with, nice fresh cans. Give it the obligatory shake, which is normally a couple of minutes. There we go, so after a couple of minutes of shaking, get the spray booth on. Make sure all the parts are clear of any dust. So we'll give it a quick blast with an airbrush. Then as always with spray cans, I can keep you guys in shot. Short sprays. Get it covered. You get a lot of surface coverage of just one quick blast, so there you go. First coat on that, put that to one side to dry. Next one, same again, just going to give this one a little bit of a wipe. Get a cloth. That's same again, like I say, you get a lot of surface coverage off one little blast, so it's just a case of being careful. You don't get any runs. There we go, good one. A bit more of an awkward shape now. Certainly a stronger smell than brushing, like I say, they are lacquer based. There we go. Last bit primed, so that can be left to one side. I'm assuming they're going to be fairly quick to dry, being lacquer based. that they are, they're drying already, I can see them. But we'll leave those for a good, at least an hour, and then we'll pop back, have a look at the finish. We'll probably take it back a little bit of wet and dry, and then we'll come back with the white. Right, okay, grey primer's dry for about an hour. Took it back with a little bit of wet and dry, gave it another coat. That's dry for about another hour now as well. Absolutely covered in the stuff, but never mind. So onto the TS26. There we go, it's been shook for 2 minutes now. Get the spray booth on. Exactly the same as before, short light coats. Not trying to cover in one go, we're just trying to dust it on to begin with. Slowly work our way around the model. So there we go. The mirror part on the other side. Always keep shaking it between. If you put it down and pick it back up. Go. There's two. Again, the fuel tank's still dry and I've had to fill it now as well, so I don't think I actually see the fuel tank getting sprayed, but it's exactly the same technique employed here. Sprays very, very nice. It's a bit sticky on the old hands. But like I say, it is lacquer based, so hopefully we'll get a better finish for that. There we go. Again, once you've done them all, always worth just picking them up. Things like this, I haven't quite got behind. I mean, you can't see it on the model once it's on. It's always worthwhile picking them up and having a quick look to make sure you've got all the areas covered. Often when you're putting everything away or cleaning up and finding you've missed something. There we go. So I'll leave those to dry. Probably give them another hour. Have a look. They'll probably need another coat, and I'll be back once they're dry. Right, okay. So I'm at the spray booth temporarily. All the parts have now been sprayed, bar the fuel tank, which needed a bit more work than I actually thought. I was literally hoping it would glue together. There'd be a seam through the middle, but it doesn't work like that. It needs a little bit of filling, a little bit of sanding. And currently it's got Mr. Hobby, Mr. Service 1000 on it drying. Hopefully, I can't actually see any physical sink marks there, so there's no gap there apparent really now. So once sanded off, that'll be fine. It'll be primed up and sprayed exactly the same way that these parts were, which as you can see now, nice glossy white. They've not been lacquered yet because they need decaling, which is what we're going to do now. So I'm going to very quickly, you've seen before how I decal, I'm just going to quickly put a decal on this to run through my technique again, and then I'll decal everything off camera just to save a bit of time, otherwise you'll be watching me decaling for 20-30 minutes or so, which would be boring at the end of the day. So literally we're going to use that side plate, we're going to be using more of the red decals which will have a white number. I think we're going to go for number 1, no idea why, just a random number I've chose. There's a couple of other decals that need to go on front forks, rear forks, which I'm going to do whilst this is drying and what have you. Once all the decals done, we use a setting solution. So what I've got here, I've got a bowl of water which has got a little glug of microset in it, not a lot, just a little bit, that softens the decal. Once the decal's on, to let it set and conform to all those curves, dips and what have you, we'll use some micro salt. So that's what we'll be doing it, the way I'll be doing it anyway. So like I say, bowl full of water, craft knife, tweezers, cotton bud, toothpick, that's the way I do it. So if I can find the correct decal on the instructions, which I'm assuming is one of these, I'll be assuming right. So I've got a craft knife I use just for decaling and nothing else, purely and simply because I know exactly what it's been used for then. I've only got two craft knives, one's used for canopy masking and one's used for decaling, and that's all I use them for. I then know what they've been used for, the safe to touch things, they've got nothing nasty on them, what have you. So there's the decal off. I'm going to put the others out of the way because I don't want them getting wet or damaged for now. Instructions there, don't really need them at this point because I know where this decal is going to be going. It's got one little tricky part, this. There's a reset where there's actual screw, where on the real thing it would be screwed in position. I'll zoom in so you can see. Which is just there. On this it isn't, it's just push fit on the back, so we've got to try somehow conform the decal in there and cut it so that we can see the nut. So I think it'll be a case of get it on, get it all set, get some of the setting solution on. Once it starts to set into that gap, I'll then cut it out with hopefully with a craft knife. So decal, mixture of the microset, some water, pop it in, make sure it's submerged, that's where your toothpick comes in handy. If it curls up, I like to spin it around, push it down. As long as it's under the water, it's fine. That'll stay there for what, 20-30 seconds or so, just to becomes water soluble, not water soluble, but the water gets underneath the backing paper and you can lift it off, no problem whatsoever. All the other parts I've painted well. I did have one run on this part just there, but like there you go, you can see it now. That's the only run I got on the whole model, a bit gutted, but it's just due to the shape of it, the paint was collecting. I did overspray a little bit too much. Like I said, it was the first time using the TS paints. I've used the PS ones before on polycarbonate body shells, but never used these before. So I think it was a little bit close at times, but anyway, it has a decal on it so you won't see it. Everything else has come out quite nice, got a nice glossy finish. I mean, you could leave that as your finish, but because we're going to decal and the decals will go matte, we'll have to put a gloss finish on, hence why we're using the TS clear once these are all done. Decals been in now, what, just under a minute probably. Take it out, dry it off, and it's actually split, would you believe? Which is never good. We'll see if we can save it, hopefully we can. You can see there's actually a line on the decal like it's been bent. I know it hasn't though because the decal sheet's perfectly straight. It's been stored safely, and as you can see it's actually split. Common fault with Tamiya decals. I've had loads of them do it. Hopefully we can save it, otherwise this is going to cause problems. I'm going to have to go for the yellow one, but if one's cracked there's a good chance the others will. Fingers crossed, like I say, I can save it. Oh, it's actually gone now, so we'll take it off completely, put it to one side. Turn and get it in position. Let's try it that way. Seem very, very delicate. Okay, let's try and get the other one on. What we'll do, what I didn't do, put a little bit of water on the actual model surface. So there you go, just as always, live on camera for me. A decal falling to bits isn't good. The possibility I can save it because I really did want the red because I thought it contrasted well. against the black and the white. So hopefully no, that's not going to have it. I don't think we're going to be able to see that, unfortunately. Unless I can pick a number that's going to actually hide it off the decal sheet. What a nightmare. Absolute shame. Nope. Right, okay. The red didn't go quite as planned. Sadly, and I will admit that on camera, Tamiya decals do have, I mean all kit manufacturers' decals do have the risk of ripping and tearing, but Tamiya's can be an absolute nightmare sometimes. Sadly the red one split in half, I couldn't save it, so can't go with the red unfortunately. So we're going with the yellow. So off camera I put one on just to make sure it went on. Fingers crossed the next one will, because if not we're in some serious trouble. It's been put on, smoothed out. I've just put the setting solution on. We've got one little bubble just by the nut there, so I'm going to push that out. I'll do it now actually, because it's starting to wrinkle. There we go, it's very gentle, so I don't want to rip it. Looks as good as we're getting, to be honest. It's just a very awkward shape there. So there's one on, so fingers crossed the next one will go on. Like I say, you can get replacements, but that means there's waiting. I don't want to be waiting because I've got the next build behind me ready to start, so I'm quite eager to get this finished. So in the setting solution again, make sure it goes under water. This is the part we need. We'll wet it ready. Fingers crossed it's going to go down okay. Like I say, if not, we're in a bit of trouble. And this build will have to go on hold for a few weeks when we get a replacement. So fingers crossed it's going to get down. I'm not going to let it soak as long this time, so we'll take that out. We'll just get all the excess off. We'll see if she's free to move, which she nearly is. A little bit more underwater. Dry it off again. Fingers crossed. Thought that would split, then it was actually a dog hair. Oh my god. There we go, she's coming off. Now, these decals need to go round one way. Hopefully I can get the rotor around the first time, which I have. Whew, so there we go, so that one's on. So we need to position where we want it. There we go, and then we get a cotton bud. And we'll start easing all the water out until we get it done. So after this, the only major decal is the one for the front, plate number, which is another yellow one, it will be now anyway, and then the tank decals, which fingers crossed they come off alright, but I won't know that until I've got all this sprayed, so it's going to be in a couple of days time. Fingers crossed we'll get there and she'll be alright. So because it's a larger part, I'm going to use a bit of kitchen roll. I'm just going to very gently ease all the excess water out and then use the edge of the kitchen towel to collect that water so it doesn't go back in and cause it to lift again like it keeps doing. Just be very gentle, no pressure, because you don't want to tear that decal. This one seems to have gone down better than the last one. The decal could have done with going slightly down, but I'm not going to risk moving it now. Just get all that water out. And then happy. Whew, says one on, one more to go. And we know we're fine. So what I did with this around the bolt is I just lightly poked the craft knife through until I had a circle of yellow I could remove, which we'll use the brush to lift it out. There we go. Then cocktail stick, I'll push the edges in like so. Hopefully this is going to work. Very, very delicate decals. I mean, it has been hot in the UK lately. Whether the heat got to it, I don't know, but they still shouldn't be splitting and ripping and what have you. So I just want to get all the water out of that hole there as I can at the same time. Push in the decal edges. Right, so that's in. Got one little bubble on the edge, I'll get that in a second. Setting solution all over, gently apply with a brush. Make sure it goes over the edges, but don't lift the edges with it. And we're going to chuck some in the hole. Like so. And keep pushing those edges down until we get it where we want it. Like I say, make sure you get all your edges, but don't lift any of the edges. There we go. Once you're happy with it, put it to one side. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to get that other one done on the front plate. Fingers crossed I'll be back in a minute and it'll be done and dusted. Right, okay. Back in the spray booth now. All the decaling's now done, as you can see. As you saw in the last part, the red decal fell to bits. Nothing I could do about that whatsoever. So we're going with the yellow one with the white numbers. Not my first choice, but it's fine, not a problem at all. So all three number boards are done. The fuel tank is now fully sprayed. It was filled, primed, exactly the same as the others, sprayed the same colour, decaled. Again, sadly, one of the decals fell to, well, not fell to bits, but it's split just down the middle there. Absolutely nothing I can do to that whatsoever. It was already on. I'd pushed all the water off under its details, so I couldn't even move it again. It's barely noticeable. I know it's there, and that makes it quite annoying for me, but there's nothing I can do about that really at all, other than get new decals. But I don't think you're going to notice it, so it's not the end of the world. It's just a very, very slight white gap where the decals separated, but just one of those things, unfortunately. So I'm just going to put them back on there, stand out of the way. What we've got now is we've got the clear coat to go on. So those decals were put on last night. Setting solution was left overnight, so they are well and truly dry. I'm just going to put a rubber glove on. So they're well and truly dry and ready for a clear coat. So like I said in the video, we're going to be using TS13 clear. Already given it a good shake, so I'll just give it another quick shake now. We'll get the spray booth on. And we'll get the clear coat on. So I'm just going to wipe that down because there's quite a bit of dust in there. There we go. So just as before, light coats. All around, so it's had a decent coat everywhere, and then we're going to put that to one side. We'll let that dry a bit. Now the side numbers. So we are about a foot away, 12 inches away, just as per the instructions. Again, like I was doing before, spray a bit, let the strata booth grab it before it gets a little bit overwhelming. Should have my face mask on, but I can't talk to you guys and wear it at the same time. So we'll just spray this one last part. I'll put my mask on and get all these done, and then we'll come back once it's sprayed. Right, there we go then. There she is, all together. Absolutely superb. It looks absolutely brilliant. Really, really happy with how it's turned out. What I've done off camera is, remember all the chrome parts where they were sanded? I've gone around touching up with Tamiya X11 chrome silver. All the fake nut and bolt heads that we had, you know, on various parts we pushed in. There was like plugs. They've all had heads again with chrome silver, so it imitates an actual bare metal nut or bolt. All the body parts are on after the glossing you've just seen. Everything's attached, put in place, seats on. Did have a bit of dilemma at one point where the rear suspension decided to fall to bits on me. I had to dismantle the bike to get to it, but it's all back together now, no problem at all. Just put that kickstand down. So there we go, everything's on. Rear suspension works, front suspension works, all really well. Very, very nice build. I feel like I've been building this thing forever now, just because it's been such an involved build. A lot of work, quite fiddly stuff where, you know, you're not just straight in getting something painted, you're always doing something different, but very, very nice. Really, really happy with how it's turned out. And basically that's it really. We've attached some of the hoses that read from the fuel tank. There's a breather pipe on the top, you can just see it there. So that's it really, she's all done at last. On to our next project, which you'll see very soon. I'm very excited about this next build. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take some nice high quality shots with my DSLR. I'll attach them to the end of the video. A little bit of thread caught in there. Attach them to the end of the video, and I'll also send them to your models to put on their Facebook page so we can get some nice clear shots of the bike. But it turned out well. The Tamiya spray paints, the TS paints, have worked very well. I know I was talking to a guy on the YouTube vids, I think it was Gavin was he? Saying he wasn't impressed with the TS spray, but it's worked really well. Got a nice glossy finish. Worked very, very well. The only thing I will say is they absolutely stink. Even my extractor was struggling to get them out of the room. So it's something to really bear in mind if you're using them, to make sure you're well ventilated, because you'll hear me coughing on one part of this video where it has just got to my lungs too much. So just bear that in mind if you're using them, but I'm very, very impressed, especially with the primer. The primer is fantastic. I did say I wouldn't be using the stand, but I have, because it's going to allow me to get some nicer shot of the bike. So I've just quickly assembled it. I haven't painted it, and I might, I said I wouldn't, I might even display it on that. Overall fantastic build, very happy with it. It's a very, very impressive kit, absolutely huge. I mean, it stands over 7 inches tall, and lengthwise it's over a foot in length, so it's quite an impressive bike. It's going to look quite nice up on my display and what have you. So I'll take some nice shots of it, attach them to the end of this video, and I'll send out to your models as well. So paulfromemodels.co.uk. Thanks for watching. It's in the part 7, completed build. I'll be up soon with the next build. I'm not going to say what it is yet until we've got it the videos made. The kit's behind me, and I'm going to start that early next week. The weekend now, so I'm going to enjoy my weekend off. Get on with some other projects. PortMeadors.co.uk. Check out Meadors website. Loads of new stuff on there. Always stuff being added. Fantastic website. Have a look at eModels YouTube channel where this video is. There's all the other videos I've done, all the other parts for this. Subscribe and like to that. Check out the Facebook page. Again, the video links I put on there. You can send pictures of your builds in there for eModels to put on and what have you. And also, as always, all the builds can be found on my forum, internationalscalemodeler.com. So again, pop over, join that, have a look. And as I always say, eModels.co.uk sponsor the monthly prize draw on that. So join, register, get your name down. Yeah, I want this kit. And this month you stand to win a 132 Revel JU88, I think it was. So good kit, get your name down, and we'll see you on there. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for the next build. Paul from eModels.co.uk. Take care. See you soon.